Okay, so this is the primary reason why I love this exercise, because even if you feel like you know your target audience, it's very hard sometimes to create something as poetic and visual as this comment right here, What's up, everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and here we are on part 3 of my 4-part video series, How to Run Facebook Ads in 2022. If you have yet to watch parts 1 and 2 of my video series, definitely go check those out. I will link it down in the description below. In part 1, I gave an overview of the 3 pillars you need to focus on in order to find success in 2022. And then in part 2 of the video series, I do a deep dive in how to use Google Analytics to find the data that is now missing inside of Facebook Ads Manager. So be sure to check those out. And in this one, we are going to talk about the fact that you need superior messaging and how you can easily create that even if you're not a copywriter yourself. So in video 1, I talked about the fact that ads burn out, and it's pretty easy for someone to create an ad that is successful for at least a short period of time, be it a week, 2 weeks, a month. But it's very difficult and challenging to create an ad that can last for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And so that's really what you want to be aiming for, because if you have a very successful ad, it will still collect more data than other ones. The data fuels the algorithm, and then you're going to get longer, better results. And so it's important in order to create superior messaging to accomplish that. Okay, so in order to go over this exercise, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need first a blank document, whether that be a Google Doc, a Word doc, Evernote, whatever tool you prefer to use is totally fine. Just make sure you have a blank document, and then make sure you have a window, an incognito window, in order to do some Google searches. So the reason we want an incognito window is because if you use your regular window where you're doing a bunch of other Google searches all the time, Google uses your past search data to essentially customize your results, but we don't want that. We want a clean slate right now, and for Google to give us the raw results, so to speak. So that's why you want to be using an incognito window. So what we're going to do right now is that we're going to go out and pull comments of where our audience is hanging out. So whether that be Facebook groups, subreddits, the comment section on a YouTube channel or a specific YouTube video, random online forums. Believe it or not, online forums are still thriving out there in the world. And we want to look for specific descriptions and comments that people are leaving about their pain points, their challenges, their frustrations, their wins, their transformations, all that kind of good stuff. And then we're going to put it inside of this document right here. So like I said, lots of different places that we can go to on the internet in order to accomplish this. In this example, we're going to go to Subreddit. And in this hypothetical scenario, let's just say I'm doing research for a client in the weight loss space. So I'm going to go over here and just type in top subreddits for weight loss. Again, if we were doing something else, we could also type in online forums, top YouTube channels for weight loss, top blogs for weight loss, and we want to go to the comments section for all of those resources. But again, we're just doing subreddit in this case. And then here, immediately right off the top, I see that there's this link that's going to give me multiple options for weight loss subreddits, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and click on that. And as you can see here, the first one it lists is r/lose-it, r/keto, which would be a great option if we're doing something very specific on types of diets, r/fitness if we're more kind of in the exercise space, so to speak, and then r/progress pics. The one that seems most relevant for this exercise would be r/lose-it, so let's go ahead and click on that one. Okay, perfect. And if you're not familiar with Subreddit, the cool thing is that you don't need a Subreddit account in order to look at the comments in here. So you can just start browsing here as is. This is the r/lose-it subreddit, but we want to give ourselves a little bit of an advantage, and we want to find the best and most popular comments available to us. So I'm going to use the filter feature here by clicking on top. And then it's automatically going to default to today, but we want to give ourselves a little bit bigger of a time span, because while I'm sure there are some fantastic comments today, right? What about the ones from last week or a month ago or anything like that? So I'm going to go ahead and select this. And then at least in my scenario right now, I'm going to select this month. And that's because we are in January of 2022. And as I'm sure you're very aware, January is the most popular month for people to have these goals to lose weight and trim down. And so while that's very top of mind, I feel like there's probably tons and tons of great comments right now inside of this subreddit. If this was June, for example, I would probably do a longer time range, maybe 6 months, maybe even a year. But since we're in January and we're in the thick of the storm, so to speak, then I know just by choosing this month, I'm going to find some really great options right here. So let's go ahead and start scrolling down and see what kind of comments we can find. So here we go. This already starts off good. Has anyone else thought, I can't believe I used to think I looked fat then when looking at older pictures? So now we want to look at this. So often I look back at old photos and I wish I looked the way now, even though during that photo, I remember feeling miserable about how I looked. Cool, great. So I like that. So this is kind of a feeling of someone of regret almost, right? So very descriptive. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. And then the other thing I want to do too is, so this is someone's post. We want to see the comments in reacting to that post for two reasons. One, we might find something else that's very useful there. And then two, we also want to make sure that everyone feels the same way. So if everyone's responding, no, I never feel like that, then it may not be a great comment. But yes, this person says that, same here, same, yup, same, I definitely feel that. Yeah, so everyone's essentially confirming this person's feelings, saying that they feel the exact same way. So that's perfect. Okay, cool. I like this. So I'm now gonna keep on scrolling on the main feed here. I like this. I might go back to the one we just saw right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I like this one right here. Someone's celebrating a very big win, losing 126 pounds in 299 days. So I kind of want to see how they described it. Like, what are the emotions and the feelings of that? So here we go. So I've been here before though. 8 years ago, I was out of breath just walking along a flat road and lost 100 pounds at that time. In that time, I've gained it all back, but that's been full of ups and downs. The journey started with the realization that getting out of breath while trying to comfort my 1-year-old daughter was just not acceptable, and I knew something had to change. Perfect. That's good stuff right there. How do I feel? I'm pretty sick that I could have felt like this my whole life, but had to go over 20 years being morbidly obese. I can walk all day long now if I want without breaking a sweat. Comment is very long, so I'm going to pluck the juiciest parts, so to speak. I like these components right here, and I always like to put a line in between the comments. That way I know when one comment starts and the other one ends. So then I like this one here. See, and I like this one. I can dance with my daughter and chase her around the house all day long. Love that. Cool. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and keep on scrolling here. So my husband got teary-eyed today because I was wearing my wedding rings. I like that too. Very, very descriptive. So I'm just going to take the headline right here. I like that a lot. That can be a headline for an ad, potentially even. Then we just keep on scrolling, repeating this second exercise. There we go. Second serving won't taste better. Someone brought a cake to my family dinner last night. After all the charcuterie, turkey, and potatoes, I was dying for some sugary treats. The inner kid in me was legit jumping in excitement. Except the cake was bad. It didn't taste like anything. It wasn't sweet enough, not chocolatey enough, and it was a letdown for me. Then somehow my brain decided that maybe a second slice will taste better, that somehow it will be sweeter, more velvety, and more decadent. Okay, so this is the primary reason why I love this exercise, because even if you feel like you know your target audience, it's very hard sometimes to create something as poetic and visual as this comment right here, right? So this person says that the inner kid in them was legit jumping in excitement, and that they thought that maybe a second slice will be sweeter, more velvety, and more decadent. So that's a very vivid description right there. And so that's why I love this, because again, we might not ever come up with that on our own, but let's go ahead and outsource it. And so we're going to grab this comment right here. I'll actually grab the whole comment right here. Great. Let's see if we can grab one more here or two more. I like this one. I won't judge you at the gym. I know for a fact that a lot of people, when they start losing their weight, they do get scared of people judging them when they go to the gym. So let me grab this whole comment here, put it there. Perfect. Now let's grab one more. I already saw one that looks pretty good. Turns out I'm eating the right number of calories to maintain being overweight. I like that. Okay, Great. So as you can see here, what we're doing is that we're literally pulling comments word for word of what our target audience is leaving. And there's a saying in marketing that goes, the goal of marketing is to have the conversation your audience is already having in their head. That might be attributed to someone specific. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a very true statement. And that's exactly what we're doing right here. What better way to have the conversation that your audience is already having in their head by pulling the exact comments that they're leaving all around the internet, describing their pain points, challenges, their wins, all that kind of good stuff. So we're just expediting essentially the whole copywriting and creative process right here by pulling information from our target audience. And again, this is just subreddit. You know, normally I would spend at least an hour doing this exercise, going to different parts of the internet, especially Facebook groups. They're a fantastic resource, online forums, and all that kind of good stuff. But for purposes of this example, we'll just end it right there. That way we can move on to step 2 of the exercise. So here we have all the comments that we have pulled here up until this point, but now we want to organize them because we want to make this actionable and easy for us to tap into. So I actually have a second blank document right here. I like to call this the gather document, and then this one here is the assess document. And the assess document is where we organize everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each comment and see, you know, what is the kind of like the overarching feeling statement slash category that I can assign to this comment, and then I will categorize it right over here. So let's look at this one right here. Often looking back at the photos, yeah, wishing I looked that way now. Perfect. So that definitely I would say is regret. So I'm going to put that right there. Then I'm going to grab the comment, just copy it and paste it. Don't want that to be in bold. All right. So then I'm going to move on to the next comment. This is the one where she was out of breath. I can dance with my daughter. So I guess we can describe this like the full journey of, you know, where they were to where before and after. Let's call it that, right? Before and after. Perfect. And then my husband got teary-eyed today because I was wearing my wedding rings. That's definitely a win. So let's put that under this category. This is the one about the cake and wanting a second slice. So this is kind of the mind battle when it comes to weight loss. So let's go ahead and copy that whole thing in there. There we go. Then, oh, this is all about being judged. Okay, cool. So I would actually put this under a broader category of fears. Fear of being judged, fear of being ridiculed, you know, whatever it might be. So then I'm gonna grab that right here. Perfect. And I know we have one more comment. Turns out I'm eating the right number of calories to maintain being overweight. Definitely, I would put that under a category titled frustrations. Perfect. So now we've gone through our messy document where we're just throwing comments in there and we've organized them in here. Now, normally, right, if I was doing this exercise for a full hour, right, there would be multiple comments under each category, right? So I'm not putting just one comment for every single category. I would probably actually maybe leave all these categories here and then put other comments and make them fit into them. So that way I can have 3 or 4 under the regret, you know, 3 or 4 under before and after, for sure more, like at least 5 in the wins column, the mind battle. I want multiple comments inside of each subcategory. And so what we're doing here is that we're making it easy for us to create ad copy based upon the specific offer that we're putting together, right? So if I have some sort of freebie that I want to give away, or maybe it's some sort of paid product or service around a very specific topic, well, when I go to the ad copy creation process, instead of me just staring at my cursor blinking and, you know, wondering what to say, I can just come in here, go to the category that is specific to the offer that I'm putting together and pull comments from that. And that's how I get started. And the great thing is that because of the fact that these are comments, there's no copyright infringement laws around them. So I can use them, and as much as I can, I actually want to use them word for word, right? I may have to modify them a little bit just so that it flows nicely with the remainder of the ad, but also as much as possible, I want to keep it intact. So that's really the beauty of this exercise. And again, no copywriting skills needed for this. You literally just go around the internet, you pull comments, you categorize them, and then boom, there is your instant message for your ad copy without having to put in too much effort yourself. All right, cool. So we're going to move on to step 2 now. But before we do, if you are enjoying this video, go ahead and do me a favor and click that like button. It lets me know if you enjoy this type of video, and so therefore I can create more of it in the future. Plus, it just helps support this channel, so I really do appreciate it. So the final step of this is actually we want to go now to Facebook itself and see what our competitors are doing and saying in their ads. So if you're actually not aware of this, you can always see the ads that any advertiser is running on Facebook at any given time. So here we are on the Weight Watchers page. Let's just say that this is a competitor for this hypothetical scenario that we're putting together right here. So let's see what ads they're running. So when you go to any business page, you want to scroll down to where you see page transparency. And just as an FYI, they're always moving the location of page transparency. So just because this is where it is right now, it doesn't mean that's where it will be, you know, a month from now, 2 months from now. So just be aware of that. All you have to do is look for page transparency. And then once you see that, click on see all. And then you're going to scroll down to the bottom here and it says ads from this page. This page is currently running ads. So then we go to ad library. And then these are all the ads that Weight Watchers is running at this very moment right now. So a great way to see what's going on out there in the space. And so there's really kind of 2 ways you want to be looking at this. If you look at, 5 different competitors and look at their ads, and let's say they're all touching upon the exact same pain points and benefits and all that kind of stuff, that could mean one of 2 things. Either they've all done a lot of testing and that is what works best, so maybe that's what you need to focus on as well, or they're all just saying the same thing and don't even realize it, which means it's a great opportunity for you to come in with some new, fresh messaging that people won't be tired of hearing because it's brand new. It'll really resonate and they'll be much more excited to read your ad compared to your competitors because they're just hearing the same thing over and over again from everyone else. So you're not going to know which of those 2 it is until you run a test. So what I would recommend is that create one ad that maybe mirrors what your competitors are saying. Obviously, you don't want to plagiarize what they're saying, but mirrors the same pain points and frustrations, benefits, all that kind of stuff, and then create another ad that is just completely different, whole different angle, brand new to the marketplace, so to speak, and you just see which one performs best, and then, you let the data do the talking for itself, and then you're off to the races at that point. So this right here is the exercise. Anyone can do this. I know it's a very daunting task, but I do honestly believe you need to spend more time focusing on your copy and messaging than you do for any other part of your campaign. At the end of the day, when someone sees your ad, that's the only thing that they see, right? They don't care about the conversion settings that you have or the attribution window that you selected or whatever other buttons you've pressed inside of Facebook Ads Manager. Nobody sees that. The only thing that people see is your ad. So that is where you need to be putting the vast majority of your time. And I can also tell you from experience, it's actually where people spend the least amount of time.